Catherine was livid. Their bank account was empty, and her husband appeared to be covertly squandering their money on an unknown woman. James had always possessed a refined aesthetic sensibility. His parents often chuckled as they recalled how, at just 5 years old, he refused to eat any fruit with even the slightest imperfection, a small dent, for instance. This fastidiousness persisted into adulthood. The dining table had to be beautifully arranged, and the food required flawless presentation. The same criteria extended to the women in his life. James insisted his girlfriend must be stunning and well-maintained. "I'll only marry a beauty," he proclaimed. "And what if she cheats?" his friend teased, singing, "A beauty's heart is prone to cheating." "I think that's true," James confessed. "If a wife is unfaithful, it suggests her husband has faltered. It's my duty to identify the problem and rectify it." The idea that beautiful women are invariably unfaithful is just a stereotype. "By the way, those women often don't like to work," his friend prodded. "That's not an issue for me. She can stay at home. I'll handle the finances, and my beauty will greet me every day, elegantly dressed." "Sure," his friend chuckled. "Keep dreaming." Catherine was indeed a stunning woman. Her vivid blue cat-like eyes, cascading golden curls, and striking figure had captivated James from their first meeting at an exclusive event in a country house. It was evident that they were meant for each other. A few months later, they celebrated a lavish wedding, followed by a honeymoon in the Maldives, starting their life together as a picture-perfect couple. Their married life mirrored what James had half-jokingly described to his friend. He earned a living, while Catherine welcomed him each evening in chic outfits and light makeup. Yet as time passed, she began to feel disillusioned. "Girls, I'm disappointed with married life," Catherine confided in her friend Elia one day. "What's bothering you?" Elia inquired. "I thought we'd be out and about every day, but James comes home, we have dinner, and then it's bedtime," she lamented. "Sweetie, married life isn't just about fun, there's a lot of responsibility." Elia, who'd been married for 2 years, added, "In fact, it's mostly hassle, figuring out what to buy for the house, what to cook, and so on." "I find it boring," Catherine sulked, "especially since James takes care of all the shopping, and we just order lunch from a restaurant." "Get a job," Elia suggested. "That'll definitely liven things up. Plus, you'll have money to treat yourself. Didn't you spend 5 years working hard in school?" "Oh no," Catherine grimaced at the thought. "Just thinking about it makes me sick." "That's a shame. I promise, being self-sufficient is far more rewarding than being reliant on your husband." "I'm not worried about that," Catherine smiled coyly. "He's dependent on me." "Suit yourself," Elia shrugged. James was the head of a department at a young but thriving company, overseeing a team of 20. Their boss, however, had a secret. At home, he was actually the one who was subordinate. As Catherine aptly pointed out, James was quite enamored with his young wife. He seemed to anticipate her every desire with barely a hint, fulfilling them in an instant. When she craved peaches at 3 in the morning, it was as if he had to dig them up from the earth. His own needs took a backseat, despite the early morning meeting that awaited him. The couple had a joint account that both James and Catherine could access freely, withdrawing money at any time, as long as they didn't exceed the available balance. One day, James logged into their personal account and was taken aback. He adored his wife, but the reality was undeniable. At this rate of spending, he would soon find himself flat broke. However, there was little he could do about it. If you chose a stunning partner, you had to be prepared to pay the price. Otherwise, you might find yourself waking up next to someone far less glamorous than a top model. Meanwhile, Elia, Victoria, and Catherine were planning a bachelorette party at a sauna. "Let's book it for 5 hours, or 6 if we can," Elia suggested. "My mother-in-law is available to babysit Dan, and I want to make the most of this relaxation time." "I'm all for it," exclaimed Catherine, and the other girls quickly joined in the enthusiasm. I also think we should order food for Mauritius, Catherine added. My husband and I had it the other day, and it was absolutely amazing. As the designated restaurant expert, you handle the ordering, then, Elliot replied. Just let us know how much we need to pitch in. When Catherine accessed the personal account, she was stunned, much like her husband had been earlier. The balance was 0. What do you mean? She muttered to herself. Girls, I hate to admit it, but I'm broke, Catherine confessed, embarrassed. I have nothing. It looks like I'll have to skip the baccalaureate party. You don't have a penny. Victoria was incredulous. Did your husband block your access to the account? I can't believe that. He'd sooner cut off his own air supply. This isn't a joke, Catherine shot back. Yes, I have access, but the account is empty. I checked it recently, and there was money there, but now it's gone. Well, why is that surprising? Elliot chimed in. A bank account isn't a bottomless pit. Money runs out, you know. I've been telling you for ages to get a job, and this kind of situation wouldn't happen. That's not the real issue here, Catherine interjected, waving dismissively. Why did he need all the money that was in there? Who knows? Victoria shrugged. You take out money for clothes and salons. Why can't he? He could be out having drinks with the guys. After all, your James earns it. Are you suggesting I'm just living off him? Catherine's tone flared up. She didn't want to offend her friend, but the truth was glaring. Quickly, she attempted to ease the tension. I'm not saying anything, but you have to admit, if someone earns money, they have the right to spend it how they wish. Catherine sighed, unable to argue further. All right, let's focus on the task at hand, Elia said. How about we all chip in and lend Catherine some money? What other choice do we have? Catherine sighed again, feeling exceptionally awkward. That evening, Catherine returned home and overheard James on the phone. I'm looking for a size 52 mink coat, he was saying. Size 52? Catherine gasped in shock. The color? Probably classic brown. She's a conservative lady. Yes, undoubtedly, one of the best women in the world, deserves only the finest. Catherine's thoughts spiraled as she wondered, does James really have a mistress? And a size 52 at that? What a nightmare. Well, I'll show him Hi. James greeted cheerfully, leaning in to kiss his wife. Hi, she muttered, her tone lacking enthusiasm. What's wrong? He asked, sensing the tension. Catherine preferred to tackle issues head-on. James, yesterday I checked the bank's personal account, and I found it empty, she said, her voice steady but shaken. Then today, I overheard you ordering a fur coat. This is obviously not for me. What's going on? Under normal circumstances, James would have explained himself. But after a long day, he had no desire to defend his spending to Catherine, especially when her tone grated on him. Yes, I ordered a fur coat. So what? He replied dismissively. For the best woman in the world? Catherine snapped, the sarcasm evident in her voice. Anyway, yes, James admitted, recognizing that he should have been upfront about it. I should have told you earlier. So you drained our savings for her coat. Catherine's heart sank. She couldn't tell which hurt more, the thought of her husband's infidelity or the loss of their money. The fact that he didn't even bother to deny it only confirmed her fears. It seemed her friend had been right. Housewives, no matter how attractive, quickly became boring to their husbands. They need to find a job urgently, Catherine thought, anxiety creeping in. Otherwise, I'll lose him to a size 52 cow. How will I manage, But that didn't mean she was ready to back down without a fight. So what, is that how it is? Catherine launched into an angry tirade. The only woman who should receive such extravagant gifts is me. Me? Should. James narrowed his eyes, his irritation rising. How interesting. He retreated to his office, slamming the door behind him, while Catherine sank onto the sofa, staring blankly ahead. In his office, James reflected on how poorly the situation had escalated. Catherine had to come at the worst possible moment, he fumed. Asterisk, maybe I should try to explain? Oh, whatever happens, happens. Asterisk. The following day, James had a 2-day business trip lined up. As dawn broke, he considered how wrong it felt to leave without clearing the air. Catherine? He called softly, but there was no response. Is she sleeping or just pretending? He wondered, not too far from the truth. Catherine was awake but remained silent, needing some time to cool off before a conversation. The following day would also mark his mother-in-law's anniversary, a perfect opportunity for peace. James smiled as an idea sparked in his mind. Why are you here by yourself? His mother asked when Catherine handed her a bouquet of roses and a gift bag. Just because, Catherine deflected, avoiding the topic. Did you have a fight or something? Mom, let's save it for later, okay? It's a holiday. Later it is then, Sarah shrugged, sensing her daughter's resistance. She cherished James like a son and felt sad at the thought of any rift between them. Moments later, James arrived, a branded bag in hand emblazoned with "For one of the best women in the world." Sarah, happy anniversary, he said, gallantly kissing his mother-in-law's hand. This is for you. Oh, what's this? Catherine's heart sank as she unwrapped the gift to reveal a stunning mink coat. Embarrassed, she buried her face in her salad, at a loss for words. Forgive me, she finally stammered, breaking the awkward silence. No, it's you who should forgive me, James replied, a note of remorse in his voice. You're incredible. Of course you're incredible. You're the best son-in-law a mother could wish for. Not every son-in-law would give their mother-in-law such an extravagant gift. Really? James raised an eyebrow, intrigued. I think I should consider getting a job. If that's all right with you, of course. James looked surprised. Why on earth would I be against that? Well, you did mention that you enjoy it when I greet you looking all beautiful, she said, a hint of playfulness in her tone. That's true, but it doesn't mean I'm opposed to you working. Catherine soon landed a position at a call center for a respected company. From that point onward, the couple made it a habit to discuss all significant purchases together. Just a few months later, their expenses were set to increase. Catherine was expecting their first child. So you'll have to make sure you welcome me home looking gorgeous again, James laughed, delighting in the good news.